You're listening to the Into the Woods podcast with your hosts, Dermot and Michael. Let's get into it.
Wonderful chase by Shaw.
Cox again. I cannot believe it. Dacos nearly runs out of room. He's goal. Jamie Elliott has won the game of footy for this famous club. Slap for Nick Dacos. He's going to be the hero. The little champ is going to pick the winner.
Here's the Degoe moment. He unloads. Bang! You need your stars. And Collingwood stars just went and wrenched the cup back.
If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. For Spotify and Apple listeners, a 5-star rating would be greatly appreciated. Make sure you hit the bell icon on any of those platforms to be notified as soon as new episodes are released. You can find us on X at Into the Woods Pod and on Instagram at Into the Woods Pod 10. Thanks for your ongoing support by helping the podcast grow. Go Pies! Welcome to Into the Woods. I'm your host Dermot, and for the next hour or so, we'll be talking about all things Collingwood. Once again, I'm joined by Michael. How are you, Mick? Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck is that?
Celebrating the great victory. Hoskin Elliott's out the side.
Jesus. It scared the shit out of me. you brought props. You don't bring props.
I brought props. Props. Look, it's still smoking.
Oh, jeez. I'm a little bit caught off guard by that.
Hoskin Elliott's out the side. Thank God.
People listening, he's got a what did he call it?
Look, a Christmas cracker.
Yeah, whatever it is. Sorry, I don't know what to start with that. Yes, Hoskin Elliott's out of the side, and
But he'd be pounding the door down after his performance in the twos the other day. He's pounding the selector's door, and no doubt they'll open the door. He'll be back in.
We don't want to tread on Serg's toes. We do have his VFL report coming up later, but even Serg didn't have very nice things to say about old Wilbur in the 12 disposals.
One goal, Joe the Goose over the top.
Well, I guess that's the only thing to celebrate, isn't it? Because it is a fucking disaster at the moment. So let's get in to all the hot topics.
We've listened to the wisdom of Sir Winston Churchill and the brilliance of genius Albert Einstein. In the 60s, we heard the great JFK. Now, all the great minds are talking footy.
All right. So I jumped online after the loss last night, expecting to see a lot of people that were feeling a similar way to how I was feeling. Instead, I saw what was a lot more positivity than I thought there would be. People say, "Oh, we looked better. Oh, the effort was there." The effort was there. Of course the effort was there. But what's that say about the last 2 weeks? Why didn't we bring that effort against the Hawks? Why didn't we bring that effort against the Lions? All it shows is that we're capable of trying. Should we now be happy that our team fighting for a top 4 spot has come out and tried? Is that something to get excited about? Oh, they tried. They were good. Yeah, we were good, but we should have been good the 2 previous weeks. I'm not getting too excited by that. You then look at the overall stats. We won clearances. We won centre clearances and overall clearances. Something that I would have never imagined would have happened against this Adelaide team. So that was a positive. We then won the inside 50 count. No surprise, when you're actually winning clearances, you're probably going to get it inside 50 a bit. I know it's crazy, but that does happen. We won it by 34. 71 to 37.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Spanking.
Oh, boy. I'm thinking, at the very worst, that's got to be a 4 or 5 goal win. At the very worst, when you're plus 34 in clearances, in inside 50s, you think that would be at least a 4 goal win, wouldn't you?
Yes, a comfortable win.
No, we lost.
Yeah.
We lost, but, we tried, hey? The effort was there. No, the connection inside 50 is a joke. It wasn't just a one-off. It's been like this for, how long do you reckon? 6, 8 weeks?
Yeah, yep, at least, yep.
Just bomb it long to the top of everyone's head. And then just watch Keane and Worrell and these guys just intercept everything time after time after time. That's just literally, like I just said, been 6 weeks. So that hasn't improved at all. We haven't worked on that. That was honestly one of the more is embarrassing losses the right
Oh,
words?
no, look, I wouldn't. Well, you told me to let you have the floor. Am I to answer these questions? Are they rhetorical questions? Or
It wasn't embarrassing in terms of we played the best team in the comp at their home ground and nearly won. But when you're plus 34 in inside 50s and you lose, that is embarrassing. I'm sorry. And everyone living in this little fantasy world saying, oh no, this is good signs. We're back. We're probably going to miss out on top four. So you can get excited all you like, but 6 weeks ago, we were top of the ladder. We were top of the ladder for about 80% of the season. We were 10 points clear. 10 points clear of second. We're now most likely going to miss the top four. We've lost 5 of our last 6 games. There's a chance that we can hang on to fourth if we knock off the D's. There's a chance. But I don't like our chances with Gold Coast. Our percentage is higher than Gold Coast, but they do have Essendon and Port Adelaide to come. They should spank them and overtake us in percentage. Let's be honest.
so how far are we clear on percentage? I was too busy giggling.
I don't know why you're giggling. It's
I just find the whole thing amusing.
why is the whole thing amusing?
It's just part of what did I warn you about 25 years ago, Dermot? If you're going to be a Collingwood supporter, this is the type of stuff you have to endure. You don't you never enjoy watching Collingwood. You just endure watching Collingwood.
That's true. But here's the thing. So people are saying, let's just get to finals. Let's just get to finals and see what happens. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not good enough for me. When you're basically guaranteed what looked like we're guaranteed a top 2 spot, and then we're not even going to be in the top 4. You've gone from really just being in a strong position to try and win that 17 flag, like a really strong position, to now basically relying on a miracle. You're relying on a miracle because this team is not playing well enough to win 4 finals. They're just simply not willing. We're not going to do it. We need to somehow finish 4th. And don't get me wrong, if we do somehow create the miracle, no one in the world will be happier than me. I'll be coming on this podcast with those bloody stream of things that you just had going off my fucking head. It'll be the greatest day of my life.
It'll be better than dropping Hoskinell out.
I want the miracle. I just don't think the miracle's going to happen. And we shouldn't be relying on a bloody miracle when we're 10 points clear top of the ladder.
That is a fair point. 10 points clear on top of the ladder. There's been a few games, 3 one-kick games that we really should have nailed at least 2 of them. And there's extenuating circumstances, which I'm sure Dermot's going to get into soon, revolving around selection, a lot of which we've already discussed on previous weeks. So I'm not sure how far we want to delve into that. We've already kind of spoken about.
Are you talking about Bobby Hill?
Is that a segue for you, Bobby Hill?
I don't know. I was just wondering what you were talking about.
Well, yeah. Dermot and I have been talking about Bobby Hill during the week, and I smelt a rat. It just let me have the first 30 seconds. Dermot. I thought, okay, here's a guy that's played a VFL game a couple of weeks ago, has played some training sessions. They're not saying he's fit enough even to be a sub, and he would have been a great sub. He's not fit enough even to be a sub. Yet McCreary, who's hardly played a game in the last 2 months, he can come straight back in. That didn't make sense. And then, so they're saying he's not fit enough, but he's not playing in the reserves. So, it just didn't seem...
Michael.
Let me finish. It just didn't seem right. It smelt fishy. And Dermot saying, no, he's all in. He's going with the team to Adelaide to support the boys.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. He's going to Adelaide, Michael.
No, he didn't.
Oh, didn't he?
He didn't go to
He
Adelaide.
didn't end up going to Adelaide.
Something just doesn't seem right.
And have a holiday?
This whole, he had gastro business. I don't know if I'm buying that. I'm not buying what the club's selling around Bobby Hill. I smell a rat.
Oh, you're just enjoying a few annual leave days.
Yeah,
what's wrong with that?
I don't think we're being told the full truth regarding Bobby.
Yeah.
That's all good.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Bobby Hill and the way that this has been handled. It's a team sport. It's a team sport. It's a team sport. You're not acting like a good teammate. Everybody has shit going on. I have, you have, everybody watching this has gone through something in their life. Have you ever taken multiple months off your job because you've had difficult times?
Well, I have, but most people haven't.
Multiple months.
No. Well, never. No,
No,
of course.
people take days sometimes, maybe even a couple of weeks, whatever. Do they take multiple months? No, they don't. And you want to know the difference between Bobby and you and I? He's actually paid the big bucks in a job that's actually important.
Well, like I've always said, big bucks, big sacrifices, or should be big sacrifices.
I work in a fucking warehouse and I would fucking rock up to work if after like a few days if I had personal stuff going on. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
And with the fitness stuff, remember Bobby is a forward pocket player. He's not running his 12, 13, 14 kilometres a game that a Dacos would as a midfielder. He doesn't need. Surely he could have played on that. Even as I said, at least this is a sub. Like, Jesus.
but you left out something, Mick.
What's that? What did I leave out?
Fly's press conference after the game.
Oh yes, Fly's press conference.
Yeah, he ain't playing next week.
Oh yes, no. Well, it doesn't appear that he's playing next week. No. Well, there's no guarantees. It doesn't sound like he's playing next week.
No.
So yeah.
Thanks, Bobby.
Yeah. That's yeah.
It's just,
You
oh boy.
yeah.
This is going to be a hard podcast to get through, I reckon, Mick.
You know what else came out of the podcast? You had to be very subtle to pick this up because
Press conference,
yeah. What did I say?
podcast.
Podcast, no, the press conference. McRae starts by saying, "Oh, he doesn't live in the what ifs." Like, he said, close wins. There's always a lot of what ifs, but he doesn't live in the what ifs. But then he kind of proceeded to live in the what ifs very subtly.
Did he?
Because he was asked the question about the crowd and how like we've normally got the crowd in our favour and how beneficial that is. But the reverse of that, if you're on the other end, he said, "Oh yeah, it's always good to have the crowd in your favour." And the umpires can be influenced by that too, he said. Very, very subtle, very subtle. He then went on to say, talking about the inside 50 differential and saying, "Oh yeah, you would have thought we would have got, just a dirty mark in there or a free kick, like a Rankin."
Yeah,
He
I
said.
know.
So he's very subtly bringing up the issue of
But you know-
like for them to get 3 give-me goals in a low-scoring match is very decisive. The first one, Tex Walker, Houston didn't knock that ball out of his hands. Walker put it under his arm and it was dislodged. That wasn't a 50. Of course, you had the Rankin one. That's not a free kick. And not that I've seen the replay of their goal in the third quarter, the handball in the square. I didn't see that because as soon as they kicked it, I went to the toilet. But I could hear the commentator say he threw it. Apparently, Keys threw it. Is that correct?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is
he
correct.
threw the ball.
But-
so that's
But I was watching that
3
whole
goals
game.
in a close game.
I was watching that whole game and I thought, why don't we start throwing the ball? I didn't realize that they changed the rules. So, like, we'd be able to get to one end to the other quicker if we just kept on throwing it like them. Because Keane was throwing it as well.
Keane was throwing it. Yeah, Keane was chucking it.
Can I just say that guy, I fucking hate Mark Keane. He disgusts me. Fuck that guy. Nah, seriously. So watching him destroy us last night, we made him into that player. We taught him everything he knows. We developed him. And then what's he do? He leaves us. He walks out. And then he comes back after 1 year. And instead of coming back to the club that developed him and gave him a career, he goes over to Adelaide. Now he's best on ground against us in a crucial game. Get stuffed, Mark Keane. Get absolutely stuffed, mate.
Yeah, well, look, these things happen. But what annoyed me about Mark Keane originally is you had a guy who was playing in the seconds. A week or 2 out from finals, they were still a realistic chance of making finals, which would have in turn helped the seniors because I think we were playing finals that year. 1 or 2 weeks out from the finals, he up and goes back to Ireland because he's homesick, leaving his team who were battling for a final spot. That's what annoyed me about Keane. There you go.
I'm just looking. People could probably see me on my phone. Just looking for a comment from last week's episode on YouTube. Yeah, this is very last minute.
While you look for that, I'll talk about McStay. For those of you who knew and remembered Jack Dyer, his famous quote was McStay. What did he say? He's where the ball ain't.
Well,
He's where the ball ain't. And he's just not getting near it, isn't he? Is he? He's just nowhere near it.
I've got a stat
McStay.
about McStay, which I was going to save to after Serg's VFA report, but I may as well say it now. So McStay is one of 2 Collingwood players that did not get a mark last night.
Oh, really? Yeah.
De Goey being the other one.
Yeah, best.
Even Ed Allen got one. He was on the ground for about 5 minutes.
Ed Allen was on the ground 7 minutes. This reminds me of the time where McRae brought Richards on for 47 seconds as the sub against Sydney. I expected him to perform miracles in 47 seconds. As it happens, I think he got a couple of possessions. But really, McRae, Ed Allen's fresh legs in that last quarter, the start of the last quarter, or a few minutes to go in the third quarter, it would have been important, I would have thought. Bringing him on with seven minutes to go, what is the point? Really?
But seriously, Dan McStay, 0 marks. What's he there for? He's there to take a big contestant clunks. He's there to kick goals. He's there to be a pinch hit ruck. He's not doing any of that. He's just absolutely useless right now. He's just getting in the way.
Not that it wasn't a day for the big guys. But having said that,
Everyone else took a mark.
But having said that, but all Collingwood players were pretty poor in that area. Yet the Adelaide players, they were, they took a few between them. The likes of,
Payne.
Our
mate. Our mate Payne.
The three-headed monster, they were taken. They took a few between them, or at least they were kind of stopping our backs intercepting a lot.
Now, back to my YouTube comment. I found it. Last week, 7 days ago, on our last regular pod, not the panel show. At Z137, turning into a whinge fest, boys.
You've seen nothing yet. You've seen nothing.
How do you reckon? What's his name? Zed is enjoying this podcast so far. Do you reckon he's liking it? Shout out to Zed. Comment below, Zed, if you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Oh no, Zed's entitled to his opinion, and that's fine. But it's important, Zed, to express all ranges of emotion, happiness, sadness, everything, anger, the whole gamut. It's important to get it out.
Yeah, go back to when we beat the Hawks earlier in the year, and you'll see me smashing a pot and saying the lid's off. If you want joy, that's as happy as we've been all year. But even people were probably sitting there.
We're just reflecting what the team's doing, Zed. That's all.
People are probably sitting there right now being like, why are these guys, especially Dermot, just sucking it up? We were good. We nearly beat the best team in the competition at the Adelaide Oval. But it's just, when you look at the stats, nearly just wasn't good enough, was it? Nearly beaten them. We should have won by multiple goals. I just can't get over 71 inside 50s to 37. The connection's not there. How are we going to fix that? How? I don't expect you to know the answer to that. The coaches clearly don't know the answer to that. But maybe getting rid of McStay and opening up the forward line a little bit is...
Yeah, they were almost my exact thoughts. And I've been saying for a long time, the Triple M's, it's just too tall down there. Too tall. We just need more nippiness. And we need... Bobby Hill would have been handy.
Oh!
Bobby Hill would have been...
Well, when the ball's in there 71 times, he probably would have been handy.
He would have been handy.
Would have he made up 3 points?
He would.
He probably would have.
So, yeah. I reckon he would have made up...
Not that he was doing a lot when he was there at the start of
I reckon in the Gold Coast game, in the Freo game, in last night's game, I reckon we might have stolen at least one with Bobby in there. But anyway, what are we paying for?
Oh, we're wrapping our arms around him, mate. We're looking after him. Right, let's go through some of the players that we...
They love each other a lot down in Melbourne. Look what that's doing for them. Yeah. I reckon they'd be better off going back to that bad culture of theirs. Give me West Coast winning premierships, taking drugs left, right, and centre, than the likes of Melbourne loving each other and finishing bottom 6. Please, we're a football league.
All right, I want to go through some players that we've been talking about a lot in the last few weeks. Struggling players that we can now assess what they did last night. We've already talked about Dan McStay. He was on the list. Crap. Let's talk about Dan Houston, who a positional change. He's put up the ground a little bit on the wing.
I thought he looked a bit better. I thought he looked a bit better. I haven't looked at his stats or anything. I haven't really gone to the stats.
He had 18 disposals.
Oh, did he? Yeah, he looked well. Yeah, because in ball in hand, forward of centre, he's going to be a bit of a weapon if he can get it into his hands enough.
Yeah, but there was a couple of times where he did kick it inside 15 and it just kicked it straight to a Crows player.
Yeah.
Like his first quarter was decent. It was actually quite good. Kicked that nice goal.
It was a wet night. It was at times it was pouring.
Would you give his positional move a pass mark?
Pass. I'm passing it.
I'm not.
This is the positive part, Zed. Hopefully you're still listening.
I'm not passing it, so that's not too positive. But I will be a little bit more positive about
Why wouldn't you pass it?
I just don't think he was that good.
But he was better. It was an improvement.
His first quarter was. He's played a lot of good first quarters this year, I've actually noticed, because I've always thought, at quarter time, I was sitting there like, okay, Houston's on here. And then by the end of the game, I've had enough of him again. So I think it was similar last night. Next guy, Ned Long. I think I rated Ned Long's game a little bit more than what you did, because you wanted him subbed off at one point.
I did want him subbed off, but he was okay in the end from what I remember.
I think he was going all right even at that point when you said that you wanted him subbed off. I just like... He was sloppy. I'll give him that. He was a bit sloppy.
Yeah, he was. There was one talking about Houston in the second quarter. Houston passed it to him like centre half forward. Nice kick. And Long's just turned around and handballed it to somebody running into 3 Crows players. Do you remember that one? Yeah. I think it was Josh Dacos just handballed it. Kind of
I think I do remember.
Yeah.
But like I thought and Pat made we've got a group chat now of the Into the Woods panelists. So me and all the panelists, not you, Mick.
Yeah, invitation lost in the mail apparently.
Well, download Instagram and I'll add you in. But Pat said I think at halftime in that chat that it's good to see Ned Long back in his original role, just see ball, get ball. And that's exactly what I was thinking at the time too.
Yes.
Because he just went in, he was using his big body, he's knocking guys around. Yeah, he's a bit sloppy, but it was just good to see him getting his hands dirty again. He ended up with the 22 disposals. Spoiler alert, I didn't give him any votes in the Julian Rowe medal. I don't think he played that well to give him votes, but I saw signs that he could be back and maybe he will have a role to play in finals, especially because Tom Mitchell did absolutely nothing in the VFL. I think that could be it for Titch, unfortunately. There's a couple of injuries, but I think Ned was good.
You'd think that the experimenting with the team will be coming to a close by now, wouldn't you?
Oh, why not rest a couple of players next week? Give them 2 weeks off to buy
but in terms of what they think is our best 23, I think they know what our best 23 is.
Do they?
Well, subject to and conditional upon Bobby feeling like playing.
Have we had a close to our best 23 all year? Because whenever we are close, we decide to rest a few more guys.
Yeah,
so do we know what our best 23 is?
Yeah.
Anyway. Pat Lipinski. Serg, you'll be happy, mate. I'm off the Pat Lipinski train. He's been absolutely garbage since, surprise, we rested him against the Suns. He's not been the same player. Now, Michael, you're his biggest fan. He's your favourite player in the Collingwood team.
Well, he's hardly my favourite.
Well, he's your favourite player.
He's a bit. I think he's somewhere like 18 to 23 on the.
No. You're waving your arm, saying, "Look, I was right. Look how good I am when Pat Lipinski was dominating." So now talk about him. Now he's playing because he was the one subbed off last night for Allen. So
I get to talk now.
Yeah, go and talk.
Okay, because all I've ever said about Lipinski is he's a very good player in a good side, meaning when the side's playing well, he plays well. He's very much an outside player. He relies on other people to bring him into the game. So he plays well when the team plays well. And I'm consistent with that message. That's still the case. If the team's struggling, Pat Lipinski's he's not going to save you. Okay? Pat Lipinski's not going to save us. He's not going to win us a game. He's not going to pull others up by their bootstraps. Okay? That's all I've ever said, and that remains the case.
Remember a couple of weeks ago, I think it was against Brisbane, where he led us for tackles?
There you go.
We really are struggling, aren't we?
Not sure any of them are stuck, but...
Look, when I say I'm off Pat Lipinski, I don't know. My relationship with Pat Lipinski over the last couple of years has just been so up and down. One week I love him, next week I hate him, then I love him, then I hate him. I don't know. He's just one of those guys for me. I think we've all had those players throughout the past where we just change our mind on a weekly basis.
Didn't he come to your 5th birthday party?
That was his brother.
Oh, okay, but wasn't he there too?
Oh, he would have been very young. He's younger than
Yeah.
I went to primary school with his older brother. It was I think it was my 7th or 8th birthday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, a little bit older. Yeah, yeah. So, anyway, Will Parker. Not that he's a struggling player or anything. This is, I guess, a separate category. What did you think of his game?
I thought he was good. I thought again, he came in and he looked composed.
Yeah,
Yeah, he didn't star by any means. Didn't star, but was neat, was composed, and will develop if given more opportunities.
he played the 4 quarters, which I liked because I was worried, one, that he would be the sub, and then when he wasn't, I was worried that he'd be subbed off, halfway through the 3rd quarter or whatever. Got the full game. I only had the 10 disposals, but I think defensively he was very solid. Very solid. But in saying that, he probably makes way for Jeremy Howe next week, doesn't he?
Oh, look, I don't know. I'd like to see him retained. Look, I haven't sat down and done the side, but he doesn't do anything wrong. He doesn't do anything wrong, and he's good by foot. So,
Although, yeah, maybe he does that. Maybe it's Ed Allen. I know he didn't get a chance. Maybe it's Ed Allen, and then someone like a Lipinski or whatever goes to sub. Howe comes in, but then you've probably got too many defenders. I don't know. You need-
well, to begin with, I'd like to see, as we were talking about in previous weeks and previous months, I'd like to see Cox brought back in for McStay.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be, well, as we've said, he's the best tap ruckman at the club, and he's going to offer just as much, if not more, than McStay has been offering the forward line. Okay, he can't do much worse than McStay.
No, that's
been
the
doing
point
in the forward line.
Because earlier in the year when I was off Cox, he was appalling. Cox, I will say he was appalling, and I wanted him gone, and I wanted Dan McStay back as quick as possible because that was when he was injured. But I mean, yeah, McStay's been so bad that Cox couldn't go any worse.
No, he couldn't go any worse.
People probably saying, "Oh, these guys were saying we want to go in smaller before. Why? Then you all of a sudden you're bringing Cox in." I mean, the difference is McStay. He's mainly in the forward line, isn't he? He's mainly in the forward line. He doesn't spend, and then he's pinching in a ruck. Doesn't spend a lot of time on the bench. Whereas Cox, he could be almost your number one ruck, and Cameron could then all of a sudden play behind the ball a little bit more. Cox could rest forward at times, but overall he might only play 60% of the game, whereas McStay's mostly going to be on the ground, whereas Cox could spend huge chunks on the bench when he's not the number one ruck. So that's the difference. Because if McStay's in the team, he's going to mainly be forward, isn't he?
Yeah. And he's got a good big game history.
Oh, yeah.
In big games, Cox plays well.
Oh, absolutely. And people just, and I've heard opposition supporters say, "Oh, what? One game?"
No, and it wasn't just one game.
West Coast.
It was West Coast. Even
elimination in 2020. And in their premiership year, it's a number one ruck. Every final, he played well.
Exactly. And even in the 18 grand final, he was pretty good.
He kicked 2 goals.
Kicked 2 goals in that. I think he did a bit of rucking, didn't he, in that game? Maybe not a lot. Grundy normally did about 35%.
But the 23 season when he was the number one ruck, he set the tone in that qualifying final. He basically stuck his knee into Gordon's throat to an opening bounce. And
exactly.
And he kind of the winning goal in a way against the Giants. A lot of people forget that because there was still 15 minutes left. But he kicked our last goal in the prelim.
Oh, did he?
To put us in front, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he's got a good history in big games. Yeah.
The tap that started the greatest player of all time with Pendles and Goey and Nick. Yeah.
Yep.
He's
sucked him in with the 666 rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the rants say it all the time.
That was Lipinski. Lipinski did that.
Did he?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Lipinski was the one who was out of position accidentally.
Thanks, Lipinski.
Accidentally out of position.
Thanks, Lipinski. No, the rants say it all the time that he's our best tap ruck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been apparent for yeah. Doesn't take a genius to work that out, but because Cameron's not great in that area, is he? He lost that again.
He's great in every other area.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm a fan of Cameron's, but
how good is it that he's re-signed with this touch of 3 years? Because John Ralph is probably crying into his pillow right now. Everyone wants to leave Collingwood, don't they, John Ralph? As if he was ever going to go to West Coast. I know he's a WA boy, but why would you go from Collingwood to? That's basically like saying your career. I'm done with my career now.
Yeah, I'm just playing purely for the money.
Yeah.
So,
it was good. And then Pendle's 21st season signs that same day. Going to break the game's record now.
Yes, no doubt.
All right, so All right, I'm just looking. We don't actually have a lot more to talk about in Hot Topics. This could be a quick episode for once. Other than, well, do you want to get into Surge's VFL report first, and then we'll talk about potential changes
Yes.
to next week. All right, here's Serg.
Well, that's the thing that's what I like about, that's the thing about football.
Welcome to the VFL Wrap, round 21, Port versus the Pies at ETU Stadium in trying conditions. A late out, Ash Johnson did not take the field. It was a tight contest. The Pies started well, kicking 5 goals in the first quarter. They dominated stoppages and there was good connection forwards, thanks to Cox, Algieri and Steele. Having said that, after quarter time, things tightened up and Port started to dominate the stoppages and in general play were the better. Some notable performances from Rowe and Steele, Cox and McRae. Steele had 32 possessions, Cox 20, 29 hitouts, and McRae 29 disposals. The final scores being Port 11, 12, 78. The Pies 10, 10, 70, going down by 8 points. And unfortunately, that means we are in the wildcard round next week, which means 7th plays 10th and 8th plays 9th, whilst the other top 6 get a week off. Some notable performances, I did mention still Cox and McRae. House kicked 3 goals. Tom McGuan had a very good first quarter with about 8-9 possessions. However, Will Hoskin, Elliott, Mitchell, Hayes, Cochrane and Steen and DiMattia were struggled today and didn't have a great game. Anyway, Pies again, unfortunately going down by 8 points, and they will now have to play next week. Back to you, Dermot and Michael. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Serg. So, Mason Cox, we talked about that. We want him in for McStay. We're both on the same page.
I think so, but I'm still mindful that, as you pointed out, Bill, that still leaves us as tall, and I'm not sure if I want to be that tall in the forward line. And yes, you make the point that he won't be spending as much time on the ground, but yeah, I want him in for McStay.
So how do we get Howard?
And next week, of course, we've got Max Gawn, so yes, I want to be able to double team him anyway. Yeah.
I think we had this same discussion going into King's birthday, saying we wanted to double team him and bring Cox back, and we didn't. So.
Yeah, and we only just got over the line.
Oh God! Imagine if we lost this
We've lost.
I wonder if all these positive people will still be out there if we lose to the D's.
I watched the game, some of the game yesterday, the Melbourne game, and they looked ordinary. So hopefully they look ordinary next week too. I saw Jack Viney. I told you I saw an interview with Jack Viney a couple of days ago, and he said they took a lot out of the, in retrospect, the Collingwood Melbourne last game of last year. They said that they went in basically half-assed Melbourne, which was so obvious to see, and Collingwood really applied themselves, even though both sides were out of finals contention. And he said how that kind of Collingwood then went on to had the season they've had so far on the back of that. And Viney's saying, well, basically, yeah, we should. Every game's important, and we should look at every game as being a stepping stone to the next year, even if that year's over.
Yeah.
And he said basically they're going in with a better attitude to their last couple of rounds.
Yeah. Jeremy Howe. Who's he coming? So I was just thinking then.
Look up the team.
Yeah,
you give me no notice on this.
Well, I don't know. It's just something that we normally talk about every week. This team changes, so I didn't feel like I had to. But personally, I think Howe. I reckon he comes in for Ed Allen, and I reckon Parker probably starts as sub because you would have too many defenders. You've already got Houston pushing up the ground. That's how many defenders we've got. Lipinski, does he stay? If Bobby somehow plays, which I don't think he will, does he come in for Lipinski? Or Ned Long's the other one, but like I saw good signs, and I feel like come finals, if we haven't dropped Ned Long when he's put in all those bad performances, I don't think we're going to drop him now. I think he's someone that we want in the team.
I think they've made a statement that they want him in the team.
Yeah. So is it Lipper? Because we subbed him off. If Bobby's fit. Well, he is fit. If Bobby wants to play.
Yeah, it would have to be. Hoskinelli would be coming back, of course.
Oh yeah, he's banging in the door.
I'll have to put the streamers back into the cracker.
Are you going to clean that up, or are you just going to leave it and go home?
I had no intention of cleaning it up.
Yeah, I do think so.
Yeah, Lipinski's on thin ice, isn't he now? He's just not playing well. But again, coming back to my previous comments, he's not playing well because the team's not playing well. If the team hits good form, he's the guy you want in there, delivering into the forward line. That's his specialty.
Like, I don't
Whacking
think
him on the chest. Because really, they need to be whacked on the chest down there because they've got no danger of taking a contested mark.
See, that's the thing.
You need
Like,
to whack them on the chest.
You do, and yeah, that's a good point. Like, if we want to start delivering the ball properly inside 50, Lipinski would probably be a key to that, wouldn't he? We need to get the ball in his hands, like get the ball in Houston's hands, in Nick's hands, Pendle's. How the hell are we bombing it inside 50 with all those guys in the team? What the fuck? You list them off, and it doesn't make any sense. Sidebottom, another one.
Yeah.
Josh Dacos. What is wrong with these guys?
I don't know. They played so well in that first quarter. They're changing the angles and going in.
It did get wet after that.
Indiscriminately. But it didn't get wet until kind of halfway through the second quarter. And we stopped by then. Like even the first half of the second quarter was fine. Yet we stopped playing the way we had in the first quarter. Yeah, I don't know.
You know that about 8 weeks ago, I know Serg is in the same boat. I booked my flights and accommodation over for the prelim and grand final. What am I going to do? I've got till the 12th of September to cancel my accommodation. So I'll just wait it out.
If Collingwood aren't in the grand final, you still got a good chance of getting tickets for the grand final.
I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars to go to a grand final that doesn't have Collingwood.
But you've already, in effect. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, all right.
Well, I could get my money back from my accommodation. My flights, that's gone. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where we are on the 12th of December. And absolute disaster. But yeah, Serg's VFR report. We lost, and now we're out of the
close game, wasn't it?
Against Port Melbourne, out of the top 6 into the wild card round, which I don't think we know our opponent yet. As we record this, it's 10:37 a.m. on Sunday. We don't know our opponent, but yeah, just another disappointment for Collingwood dropping out in the last minute. But what do you think of a wild card round for the AFL? Because I think it's going to eventually come in, whether it's next year or the year after.
Oh, look, I had strong opinions on it. I'm just trying to remember how exactly it'll work. I'm against it, basically, in a nutshell. Can't remember all the reasons why I am because I can't remember how it works. But
I'll explain it to you.
At the crux of it, though, I'm saying that you could 8th place 10th, don't they, or something like that. 8th place 10th.
No, 7v10 and 8v9.
Okay, right. Yeah. So let's take 7v10. So you could be playing 24 rounds, and you could, in theory, be 2 wins, even 3 wins in 7th position as opposed to 10th. You could have opened up a gap of 3 games. Okay, so you've earned that over an extended period of time. Okay, so those 2 teams play off for a position in the 8, I understand it, and the winner gets in.
Yeah.
Yep. So, on the back of a bad injury and the back of a shocking umpiring decision, that could undo all the hard work the 7th rated side has undertaken in the previous 24 weeks to have got a 3-game lead over 10th. It could just be all blown just by chance. That's not a proper way to run a league. That's just Mickey Mouse looking for more money. That's all the leagues. The league is just interested in how they can raise revenue. Don't worry about compromising the actual game and the actual competition.
No.
It's just all about Mickey Mouse. Let's get as much money as we can.
I'm sorry, I've never disagreed with you more. You're looking at it the wrong way.
Traditionally, you disagree with me only to be found later that I was right.
No,
it happens all the time.
I'm sorry. I think you'll find when this comes in that it's actually good for the game. So you're just looking at it the complete wrong way. Who's to say week 1 of final, elimination final, right? 5th v 8, just a normal final system, right? They could also have a 2-3 game lead. 5th could have a 2-3 game lead over 8th, and they end up 8th place can end up winning that final and this season.
But 8th has earned the right to get to that position. They've got to finals.
But you're looking at it the wrong way. Basically, look at the wild card round as a different final structure. It's still finals. It's a final. It's finals. It's just a different structure, and the final structure has changed many times over the years.
Why don't we just get 7th to play 13th then?
It will be
and be done with it. Like really, why not just open it up to
It's basically-
West Coast Eagles who haven't won a game all year? All right, they play the 7th. 7th go in with half their team out and then get a dodgy umpiring decision on top of that. And West Coast are in the finals, not having won a game for the entire year up until that stage.
Yeah, no,
There's your plan.
you're being stupid now. But
No, that's your idea.
No, that's
This is
not-
your idea. You're saying it's good.
no, it's basically like 2 extra elimination finals, which
You have to draw the line somewhere, Dermot. You have to draw the line somewhere.
yeah, it would make. How crap has this season been? Because it's basically for the majority of the year, there's only been 9 teams that can make it. I've never seen more dead rubbers in my time watching football. This just opens up the season, makes the home and away season more exciting. There's more spots to play for.
No, look,
Because I think someone said last year that if there was a wild card round last year, Collingwood and Carlton would have played. Now, how fucking big would have that been? How huge
I'm
would have
just
that been? Then Collingwood Carlton basically an elimination final, playing for a spot in that final series. That would have been huge. This would be really, really, really good for the game. It will make the final. It will make the home and away season feel more important. There's not going to be as many dead rubbers. Then you get an extra couple of finals. You're too old fashioned. You're looking at it as 8th place deserved to be in the finals and 10th don't. It's just an extended final series. There's no difference between the wild card round and the elimination final.
Well, we'll agree to disagree, but
You're looking at it the wrong way.
the AFL competition is so compromised already. I'm just sick of it being compromised. The quicker they can get to we all play each other once, the better. I'm sick of this rolling fixture thing over 3 or 5 years where you get the likes of sides that have finished in the finals the previous year get an easier draw than sides that didn't make the finals, i.e. Carlton Collingwood last year. Carlton getting the West Coast twice, the Richmond, North Melbourne, even though they lost to Richmond once, North Melbourne twice, even though they lost to North once. I'm sick of this compromised fixture every freaking year. Look at Geelong's draw this year. Like, please, can we just get back to an even playing field? And then on top of that, you got academies. Don't get me started on academies. When are we? Yeah, the Brisbane and Gold Coast, they will be strong sides for generations to come because of these academies. Yeah. They're never going down the bottom of the ladder because the AFL don't believe the competition can withstand those sides, northern sides, being cellar dwellers for any more than a couple of years. They're terrified of that. They will not allow that to happen. So very compromised, the whole competition.
No, I agree with you with the draw, and I agree with you with the academies. The one way you could fix the draw, and I quite like, is everyone plays each other once, and then you split the competition into 3. So you got your top 6 playing for your finals positions, first down to 6. You got your middle 6 that are literally playing for 7th and 8th, and then you got your bottom 6 that are basically, let's just say, playing for draft picks. So the winner of that can get pick 1 to avoid tanking and so on, and having the same teams getting pick 1 every year, like in North Melbourne.
I don't think tanking happens anymore.
Well,
I think they've woken up to the fact that
you're probably right.
To win a game does a hell of a lot more for a side than to lose and get the number 1.
But if you did that, actually makes the competition a lot more fair. So you all play each other once, and then you split it up into 3, and that's the way, because you can't cut the amount of games out this due to Channel 7 and Fox and their contract, but you can still make it in a way that it is more fair, and that's a good way of doing it. It will become a bit more difficult when Tassie come in, because then you've got the 19 teams.
Everything's more difficult when Tassie comes in. No, a theory I've heard that they reckon the AFL will eventually go to is play each other once, and then you have the heritage round over and above that. So the Collingwood versus Carlton game, the showdown, the derby, and all the other traditional rivals will play each other and make it 20 rounds for the year or whatever it is. Play each other, depending on how many teams we end up with. Yeah, I don't mind that idea.
Yeah, that's right. One last thing on Serg's VFL report. I reckon for most of this year, I've just been thinking Finn McRae is a dead man walking, that he will not be at the club next year. And for the majority of the season, especially in the last few weeks, I thought Tom Mitchell was probably going to get that 1-year contract. I now sit here thinking the complete opposite. McRae's form since he's come back from injury has been very, very good. Mind you, I don't watch VFL, but based on the stats, based off what Serg is saying and other Collingwood supporters, Finn McRae is playing really well again. And he's missed the majority of the year through injury. So to now delist him after missing most of the year through injury and then finally coming back into some good form would be a bit unfair. I reckon he deserves one last crack at it. And Tom Mitchell, we've got too many over 30s, and his form has dipped. 17 disposals in the VFL, not good enough. And I love Tom Mitchell. I love him as a player. He's a premiership hero. I love him as a bloke. Great bloke. Love his podcast.
Don't know him as a bloke.
And I'm so grateful that he came to the club. But when it's time, it's time. And I reckon it's just about time for Titch. Yeah. And I reckon we should just hang on to Finn McRae because
I agree. But the only thing is, will Finn McRae want to be hung on to? Like, would he want to explore his options? Yeah, but he's been at the club how many years now? And he hasn't broken into the seniors for any length of time at all over his, how many years? 3 years?
More than that.
4 years? Yeah. So maybe
even 5. He came at the same time as McCreary. McCreary's been around a while now.
Exactly, yeah. So if he gets another club knock at his door and show him a bit of interest, they might turn his head.
Possibly, but I'm not convinced another club will do that because a lot of Collingwood supporters seem to rate our VFL players very highly, more so than I guess the rest of the comp. Like when we delisted Bianco and Poulter and Rusco, you were convinced that all of them would get picked up. None of them did. Poulter eventually did a year later by the Dogs, but Bianco's still playing in the VFL, Rusco's still playing in the Waffle. Do we rate these guys a little bit too highly? And would Finn McRae also be in the same boat as someone that we would assume would get another opportunity, but he actually wouldn't? So he might not have options. He might just.
I think West Coast would have him.
Yeah, but you could say that West Coast would want anyone because they're so bad. There's other guys out there as well. Like who's to say Finn McRae's the best option for them? There might be like 5 other midfielders out there that they like more than him.
Maybe, but yes, I would keep McRae on if he was willing to stay for another year. But the guys, obviously, he's never going to be a star. He's only ever going to be kind of a workman in there. But you need those guys. Sometimes you need those guys. Bit on the small side too. He's just a bit little, and he's not quick.
Not as big as his brother, is he?
No,
not that Jack's huge or anything.
No, but he's a decent size, and he's not quick. His kicking can sometimes be elite, and other times poor. He's not a consistent disposal of the ball, from what I've seen. Because his brother's a very good kick, has been seen as a very good kicker over his career. Yeah. There you go.
Another player. We go back onto the Cox subject. Like I thought he was a dead man walking. He wants to stay on? Do we just give him another year and say you would not get a game unless we're in trouble? Because let's say.
That depends. You'd have to know the form of Oscar Steen.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. It takes the pressure off Steen a bit. So you could literally say to Meso, going into the year, like if Cameron's injured, Steen's our man.
Yeah.
But
you need 3 ruckmen at the club, don't you?
Yeah, how many other ruckmen are out? Because his VFL numbers are still really good, and as Serg said, he was close to best on ground. But I don't know. I can't see many other ruckmen in the state leagues that are going to necessarily be better than Cox as backup. Yeah. So maybe he isn't a dead man. Well, he should be. He's Hoskin Elliott. But if he gets delisted or retires, what are you going to do? What are you going to bring in? What props are you going to bring in for that?
Oh, it'll be a big. I'll need more than the one cracker. Let me tell you that there will be multiple crackers.
Oh, you got to show. He's played 200 games, premiership player. At the end of the day, his form this year has been a bit off.
His form this year, look, don't get me started on his last 4 years.
Oh, well, hold on. His final series in 23 was very good.
We've discussed.
It was very good in 23.
I will agree, disagree. I'm not a fan. I don't like him.
All right, let's get into the Julian Rowe medal.
Been pretty good, Julian Rowe. He's been better than pretty good. He's been a forward that has presented for them today.
All right, so I've gone back to the stats. I think the last couple of weeks I've cracked the shits and haven't done my normal stats for the good players. So here's the positive part of the show. Zed?
Zed, I think it is, yes.
38 votes I've given, despite being very negative for the majority of this podcast. So I've given 5 votes. This is a reverse order. 5 votes to Lockie Schultz. Had the 17 disposals, an equal team high 7 marks, 22 pressure acts, 5 score involvements, and 2 goal assists. Just on Lockie Schultz, because we didn't really talk about him before. I love his season. And last year, he was my whipping boy. Honestly, he is probably my top 5 favourite players of the club now. Because even I make fun of us for people saying that we're trying. Yes, we're trying. Lockie Schultz always tries. So when those other guys against Brisbane and the Hawks were just moping around and not actually busting their gut, Lockie Schultz was, and I love that. I love Shooter, love him, love him, love him. All right. Also 5 votes to Billy Frampton. Had the 16 disposals, 5 marks, a team high 10 intercept possessions, and held Riley Philpott to 1 goal. It was an important goal late. Which is unfortunate. But if you look at his whole game, like he's playing on one of the best and most informed forwards in the comp, and he did a pretty good job on him, as he did earlier in the year, where he held him goalless. So, Big Bill 5 votes. I've then given 6 to Jack Crisp. He had the 23 disposals, 11 contested possessions, a game high 13 tackles, 22 pressure acts, 6 clearances, and a goal. I've then given 7 votes to Darcy Cameron. He had 24 disposals, a game high 15 contested possessions, 5 marks, 7 intercept possessions, 7 clearances, 5 inside 50s, and a goal. 7 votes to Scott Pendlebury. 24 disposals, 10 contested possessions, 5 tackles, an equal game high 8 clearances, a game high 9 inside 50s, and 488 metres gained. And I've given best on ground 8 votes to Nick Dacos. A game high 29 disposals, 14 contested possessions, 6 tackles, a game high 27 pressure acts, an equal game high 8 clearances, 8 inside 50s, a team high 559 metres gained, a team high 6 score involvements, and 1 goal 2. So to recap, that's Nick Dacos 8, Pendle 7, Cameron 7, Crisp 6, Frampton 5, and Lockie Schultz 5.
Right, I've got Nick Dacos 7, Pendlebury 7, Crisp 6, Maynard 5, Quaynor 5, Schultz 5, Cameron 5, Sidebottom 4, Frampton 4, for a total of 48. It was a bit more generous. When you think about it, yeah, disappointing we didn't win, but this is the top side on their home ground. The end result was we got within a kick of them. So that translates to votes. So once again, Nick Dacos 7. Don't think he's as damaging with his possessions as he once was. This year, he's actually how much he actually hurts the opposition is down, I believe. Pendlebury 7, Crisp 6. He's 13 tackles, 43. Maynard and Quaynor. I thought that. Look, Fogarty didn't do much. Maynard was on him a bit. The likes of
Kicked a couple, Fogarty.
Yeah, but he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't.
In a low-scoring game, when you kick 2, that's a pretty.
Keys is a very good player. Yeah. We quelled him. Rankin when he was in the forward line. So I think our backs did a pretty good job.
Didn't really go down there very often, though. In fairness, only 37.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know that.
Schultz, as I said, 5 for the reasons you gave. Sidebottom 4. And I didn't mention Cameron 5 and Frampton 4.
Can I just say, I think you've really been overrating Sidebottom in the last 8 weeks. I can count the amount of times where I've sat there and thought Sidebottom has played a poor game, and then you've come in here the next day and given him votes. I reckon this is the 4th or 5th time you've done that.
I'm just looking up his stats.
I don't care about his stats.
I do.
The eye test.
You're not looking up the stats. I am. So it indicates that I'm interested in the stats.
I think he's been quite. He's good against Brisbane. I think it was Brisbane. He was really good against Brisbane. And other than that, I think since around 10 Sidebottom, as much as I love the bloke, he's been quite poor. You go to matches, Mick. I can see you struggling to find.
Yeah, I can't use this app. Here we go.
Old boomer alert again. Here we go. What's Sidebottom got?
Okay, hold on. I'll just go to comments. Bang, look at that.
Yeah, that's
Sidebottom, where is he?
You're scrolling down, aren't you?
Here he is. 21 possessions, 17 kicks, 4 handballs. Yeah, I think he's worth.
What's his can I click on that?
Oh, you can click on that, can you?
That's
yeah,
click on him. I want to see his disposal efficiency.
Didn't know you had this.
Oh, 76%.
76%. Yeah.
No, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
But like,
Probably
I don't
worth
know.
four
There were
points.
there were times where I was just pulling my hair out watching him last night.
Didn't know you had this. I'll look up.
Oh God.
Let's look up. Look up.
Where do you think I get all these stats from?
Nick.
Yes, all right.
Yeah, you start talking. Keep on talking.
Anyway, well, we're done with the Julian Rowe medal. It's now time for Who Am I?
Nick going at 66%, by the way, last night.
Well done, Michael. You've now discovered the AFL app.
No, stop me now.
who-
This is who am I am.
Who am I? So what am I leading by? How many points did you get for John McCarthy last week? 2, I think.
Well, not you think. You're recording these properly, aren't you?
I'll need to go back on the last pod. And I think
Because you can't. We know from the AFL draft episodes you can't be trusted.
I'm pretty
when
sure-
it comes to adding stuff up.
I'm pretty sure
it's
I'm-
not your bag.
pretty sure I'm 19 to 16 up.
And by the way, I've been meaning to say that no longer in part of our clues can we give opinions, i.e., going right back to the Jack Bartel. That's always bothered me.
Bartel, not Bartel.
Whatever.
Bartel played for Geelong.
Bartel, whatever. I got it right in the end, so that's all that counts. But likening him to Josh Kennedy, it can't be I was likened to, because that's just one person's opinion. It's not a fact. We need facts.
It might have
what
helped-
was actually done. No, it didn't. It actually had the opposite effect because nobody else in the known universe would have likened him to Josh Kennedy. So that was a red herring.
It was
for
in his
me.
draft profile.
That was a red herring. That set me off on a tangent the other way. I was looking at big body guys.
You struggle to let things go, don't you?
Bloody hell. I like that picture of Wes Fellows too on the that for those who don't know Wes Fellows, go back, have a look at that photo. That tells you everything you need to know about Wes Fellows. Smiling in the gym as he does a dumbbell.
Should we end the episode with the West Fellows segment? No, we won't do that.
Oh yeah, why not? It's a good song. I like it. Okay, let's get into it. 4. Now I haven't written this out properly, so I'm just rough handwriting. For 5 points. Pick 10 with my original club in 1994. I was pick 10 with my original club in 1994.
1994. So his first season was 95. Yeah. Yeah, well, that would be, if he's in a 94 draft, his first season should be 95. Pick 10. Trying to think of guys that then came across to Collingwood in late 90s, early 2000s. You've got O'Brien, Clement, Brody Holland, Anthony Rocker. I know he was picked 2 though, so it can't be Anthony Rocker. Who else have we got around that time that came across to the Pies? Wakeland, but he wouldn't have been picked 10. We had a lot of those kinds of guys, didn't we, come around then? Yeah, pick 10. Pick 10. 1994. Can you read the question again in case I've forgotten?
Pick 10, original club 94.
Okay, let's go to 4 points.
Okay, debuted in 97,
Debuted in 97.
playing 126 games and kicking 151 goals for my original club.
Original club. So 126 games.
126 games and kicking 151 goals with my original club.
Glenn Freeborn. No, because what grand final did he rip up? So 96 or 99? Because it was 96. I think it was 96. So it can't be Glenn Freeborn. 126 games. So he's probably a forward. Well, he would have been a forward or a midfielder that kicked a lot of goals, which I can't imagine. Otherwise, he would have played more games than 126 unless he requested a trade. 126 games, 1997 he debuted. So, okay, 126 games, 1997. Maybe he came around about the mid. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he came to us around the mid noughties. Oh, no. I was thinking Paul Medhurst for a second. That's way off. When Paul Medhurst come? Oh, you might have stumped me a little bit. Have I said this person's name yet? Have I? Why are you staring at me? You're creepy. All right, move on to three. Fuck.
Played 34 games for his second club, not Collingwood. Played 34 games for his second club before being traded for a second time again. This is important, again to ease salary cap. So again, meaning his first club got rid of him for salary cap reasons. Played 34 games for his second club before being traded for a second time, again due to easing salary cap.
Damn, I was thinking Lee Brown because I know he was a high pick and he played with three clubs, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't. No, 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 he wasn't around in the mid to late '90s, and he wouldn't have been on a lot anyway. He definitely played more than 34 games for North Melbourne because he went from Freo to North to Collingwood. Can you please read that again?
Played 34 games for his second club before being traded for a second time due to salary cap reasons.
Traded for. Oh, so was he traded the first time for the same reason?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Been traded twice for salary cap reasons from his original club and his second club.
is this 3 points?
This is 3 points.
I want to lock in Blake Carousella.
For 2 points, taken. Are you sure? Is that a locking? You said you've locked it in. So, but I'll give you.
Oh
What do
God,
you think?
I'm confidence-ish because I'm confident. Yep, locking in Blake Carousella.
Okay. 2 points. Taken by the Pies in the '05 preseason draft, playing 27 games and kicking 34 goals.
That sounds about right. Did we get him in a draft or did we get him as a trade?
Preseason draft, playing 27 games and kicking 34 goals. Taken by the Pies in the '05 preseason draft.
Yeah. Well, I've already locked it in.
Okay.
I think I'm right
For,
though.
for 1 point, I was a dual premiership player for both of my.
Yeah.
He won one premiership for each of his first two clubs. Those two clubs being Essendon and Brisbane. And this wasn't a clue, but I liken him to Pendlebury. Okay, that's just my opinion though. So don't take that as gospel. But he was the Pendlebury before Pendlebury.
Well, Pendlebury took his number.
He did. He did take his number. So there you go. Blake Carousella, 3 points.
That was good because he had not crossed my mind. All of a sudden, bang, there he was,
And a
and I
Blake
knew straight
Carousella.
away. Yeah.
He's an old Paradian. Went to the same school as I did, old Paradian.
Really good player. I think he was like 29 when he was forced to retirement due to a
Yeah,
neck
due to
injury,
a
which
neck injury,
would have
yeah.
been a handy clue because that was a big part of his career, which he then just ignored in the questions. But
Well, how many clues do you freaking want? You got it a 3? Isn't that good enough? Mate, do you want his mother's maiden name in there too?
but yeah, he could have been a really good player for us if he'd stuck around. If it wasn't for that injury.
I was watching the 2000 grand final with a group of mates when I had mates. And a lot of us agreed he should have been the Norm Smith medalist because in the first quarter, he ended up with like mid 20 possessions and a couple of goals. But in the first quarter, when the nerves were there for Essendon, he was slotting goals in that first quarter. He got them going. But Hurdy, of course, because Hurdy got the medal.
Can I just point out?
Blumfield played a great game too and didn't get the medal.
So I think I'm 22 to 16 up now, and the worse the Collingwood goes, the more you're in trouble because if we bomb out early in the finals, that's less episodes for us to do and for you to catch up. So go Pies, keep on losing. Yes, win the Who Am I Cup.
So there you go. Yeah. So we're gonna have to again run an audit over your numbers though, Dermot, just to be sure. Okay, have you written it all down?
Yeah, it's all in the knock.
Okay. You've been counting them off your fingers. Remember, one of them's amputated. That might be causing you problems.
Suck up. Tips, and you know
Oh, Mel-
where are we going to finish at the end? Because we'll know our fate when we do our next pod.
Well, on the panel, we gave our ladder predictors, and I think all you guys said fourth, and I said fifth, missing out on percentage. Without having reviewed it too closely, I'll probably stick with that.
Yeah. Oh, so you're tipping us to win?
Oh, next week, yeah. Well, yeah, you'd hope so. Win by 22.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say we'll win by 5 goals. I don't rate Melbourne, and if we don't win, then Jesus Christ,
Well, we don't deserve it. You can't even be upset.
Oh, trust me, I'll be upset. You wait and see.
Really, that will show us where we are. If we lose next week, that'll just that's all we need to know.
So I think, yeah, I reckon we'll finish 5th, but I reckon there's a chance that we could still hang on to 4th. But see, the fact that I'm saying there's a chance, we're relying on other results. So I reckon we'll knock off the D's, and then I think we basically need. I think if Brisbane beat the Hawks, then we'll probably finish 4th if percentage stays the same as it is now.
Yeah,
Whereas Gold Coast would win their last 2, but if they win their last 2 by a lot, I reckon they'll overtake us in percentage.
But what you said before about the miracle, a miracle's not needed to win a premiership from outside the top 4. Like Brisbane did it last year, didn't they come from 5th or something? Gills bye has changed the whole landscape. It's not what it was. Actually, the Gills bye, as we've said in previous podcasts last year, it disadvantages the top 4 sides because they've earned the right for that position, and it's been diluted to a great extent because of Gills bye.
You say that, and you're right to a certain degree, but
yes, but that's to enough of a degree to not need a miracle to win the premiership.
Well, you still basically need it. The Dogs that 2016 final series was a fairy tale. Brisbane theirs was kind of a fairy tale in a way as well. They had to come back from 40 points down against the Giants and then did it the hard way against Geelong again. And both of those premierships were just remarkable and well deserved. And
yeah, but I don't think they were miracles.
We're going to have to do it a similar way to what the Bulldogs and Brisbane did if we can't hang on to that 4th spot, which basically we're going to be relying on other results. And are we playing good enough football to do what the Dogs and Brisbane did?
Well, look, it's going to be difficult, of course. I'm the first to admit that, and it probably won't happen, but I just don't think it needs a miracle to do it this year.
It shouldn't be difficult. We're in this. We were in a position where we had it all ahead of us. We could.
Okay, but that's reflective of the club, though, isn't it? Like we were in the great position, we blew it. So that tells you about great clubs win premierships. And if you're blowing a 3-game lead, are you a great club?
I stand by. If the miracle doesn't happen, if we butcher this, if we finish the season outside the 4 and we don't win a final, worst case scenario, we lose our first elimination final, or even if we do win an elimination final, and then that's it, we're out the next week in a semi, I would say that 2025 will go down as the most embarrassing season in my time watching football. Like, is it our worst? Absolutely not. 2021 finished second last, awful brand of football. Those 2014 to 17 times, like, we were awful. 04, 05 after those back-to-back grand finals, we back near the bottom. So, not the worst on paper, but from where we were, 10 points clear top of the ladder, to then finish outside the 4 and to potentially not win a final or only one final, when we're all in, all chips in, our age demographic, the oldest list in the history, we get Houston, we get Membry, we get Perryman, where basically anything less than a premiership is a fail when you look at it that way. And then we end the season like that in a huge choking way after we manage players that don't really need managing and so on. This would be the most embarrassing end to a season in my time watching the game. And we'll look back on 2025 and we'll just, for years to come, and we'll just shake our head at what the hell happened. So pull out a miracle, or just hope that the Suns, for some reason, don't win by as much as they should against that Bombers game. And it's going to be on a Wednesday after round 24. And I can just say we're going to be sitting there and we're going to be wanting them to win by like less than 40 or 50 or 60, whatever it is. And we're going to be sitting there. And it's going to be a difficult watch. And Essendon are going to just ruin it for us. And it's going to be a bloodbath. And we're going to fall out of the 4. And
was that cyclone that bad anyway?
I don't know.
Like, isn't it a winter sport? Shouldn't they play in all conditions?
It's annoying, isn't it? Because, like, I know...
Like, people are going to say people could have been killed by flying debris, but really... A lot of money, big sacrifices. Get out there and play.
It's annoying in terms of like Essendon probably wouldn't have won, but I think in round 0 there would have been a much better chance. You know, their confidence is shot now. They've got all kids, all their good players, if you want to call them that, are injured. They would have been a better chance in round 0.
Yeah,
So
that would have been,
it's worked out perfectly for the Suns, hasn't it?
Essendon go into every year a bit delusional, so they actually nabs them a couple of wins early in the year.
Yeah.
Their delusion.
But,
Right.
Yeah,
That's
a very and if we do fall out of the fall, we'll talk about all this very quickly before the end of the pod because we'll know our fate next time we do this pod. Well, kind of actually, because we won't know our fate because that Gold Coast game's on a Wednesday, but we'll know sort of what we are looking for. If we were to fall out of the fall, would that be the least excited you would be heading into a final series ever? Like
there's still an element of excitement.
Is there?
Oh yeah. Well, you're playing finals.
Yeah, but
It's exciting.
who the fuck cares?
Well, me. You
well-
asked me what I thought.
Well,
I'm not pretending I'm talking
Are we
for
there?
everybody.
Are we there to play finals and make up the numbers, or are we there to win premierships? Because I know the.
Well, you have to be in it. You have to be in it to win it.
but we're not really going to be in it, are we? I
I don't want to talk anymore. I want this podcast to end. I've got stuff to do.
I want the miracle to happen. Don't get me wrong.
We're going around
I want the
circles.
miracle. All right, we are going around circles. I'm just. It's therapeutic for me, but it's just.
I'm not just psychiatrist, Dermot. Jesus, that saves a lot of money on psychiatry.
All
Waking me
right,
up all the time.
we're gonna wrap it up. Any final words?
Take care of yourself. Take care of your family.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channels on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. If you want to follow our socials, you can find us on X at Into the Woods Pod and on Instagram at Into the Woods Pod 10. Thanks for listening. We look forward to doing it again next week. See ya.